Alright, back into Star Pack, and we're once again going to be making use of the Dumbo Octopus for this run, although it is only a bit of a cameo. What I want to do is use the Dumbo to get one of the perks from outside the pack, and then use the Cardinal to clone that perk for the entire team. So there are a ton of useful perks that you can find, lots of different options, and I did have many different attempts at this using different perks. Obviously, if you get something like Melon in the late game, that can be super good, especially if you have a real Velociraptor to duplicate it over and over. But having had a bunch of attempts, I decided I would rather go for one of the early game perks, because in the early turns, there are fewer foods that the Dumbo Octopus can generate, and so your odds of finding them are much better. And with that in mind, I think the best option to go for is the Gingerbread Man. So Gingerbread Man is a tier 3 perk, so even if we got the Dumbo Octopus right now, we wouldn't be able to find it until turn 5. So what I'm doing is just setting up the jellyfish here. That's one of our level up units that's going to make use of the gingerbread. There are quite a lot of level up units now. We've also obviously got Cockroach that you can see on the opposing team here. And what else is there? There's Pug, although I don't think I end up using Pug at all. And then we've also got Alpaca at the end, which is very useful. So probably going to try and make use of that. So we're just hard rolling here trying to find the Dumbo Octopus. We do get Guinea Pig as well, which is nice for giving the jellyfish a little boost with the level ups. So as soon as this battle's over, we're just going to roll down trying to find the Gingerbread Man as soon as we can. A lot of games I was stacking up like 2 or 3 Dumbo Octopuses and then just rolling the whole of the turn away trying to find that gingerbread because it's so important. But we do get Clownfish on level up, which is perfect as well. And I think we do get another Dumbo Octopus too. So I think I'm just going to sell Guinea Pig and then bring in another Dumbo Octopus. And definitely we'll keep Orangutan and the second jellyfish. We only really need one extra jellyfish initially, because once we have the gingerbread, it's going to make itself level 2. I think we're still going to lose here, are we? Yeah, because of the sparrow blocking the damage with the strawberry, we do end up losing. But yeah, I'm not going to buy anything until I find the gingerbread, because the run's basically over if we don't find the gingerbread man. But luckily we get it. Actually, we get Fig as well. That would be quite fun to try and go for an entire team with Fig in this pack, but I haven't had a go at that yet. So now the jellyfish is going to level itself up. I actually have been facing a lot of caramel teams when going for this. And so as immediately I get my gingerbread man setup going, the biggest unit, which is the jellyfish, gets hit by the caramel. So we'll take level up on the orangutan, just allow it to spread some more health around. We don't actually need the Dumbo Octopuses anymore, so as soon as we find a Cardinal, we can just get rid of them. Now I do think about Pug here for a second, but ultimately I think I know that I would rather have Alpaca, and Pug isn't necessarily going to be useful. Alpaca allows us to generate extra level ups to trigger both the Clownfish and potentially the Jellyfish depending on the order of the team. It is a little bit awkward though, as we'll see a bit later on. Now Donkey ends up messing us up here. And although they have Triceratops at the back, I think we're still going to lose, yeah. So familiar sight where we're on only one trophy turn 8. But now that we have the Cardinal on board, we can start farming gingerbread. And then we get an amazing roll here. So we'll definitely just sell Dumbo Octopus and bring in another Clownfish. The Clownfish took the buff from the orangutan when it was only level 1, so we'll actually get more health onto this one than the last one. Now, the Cardinal is going to get removed from the team eventually, but I just put the gingerbread on it initially, both to help the jellyfish, but also to give us a chance to maintain our hearts, because we do have a very long way to go from here. All right, we actually get another incredible shot with double orangutan and chocolate plus gingerbread. So I think we'll go for, get the gingerbread onto the Clownfish. Clownfish is definitely a keeper. And then look at this roll. Triple Clownfish chocolate, and then I roll another Clownfish. Now, is that not just the craziest high roll you've seen for quite some time? And in some of the attempts that I had, I only ever had one clownfish, and it just kept on becoming apparent that I was going to need more than one. We need to maximize the value we get from the gingerbread, and having multiple clownfish is the best way to do that because, as a tier 4 unit, you're pretty likely to be able to find them early on. Granted, not as many as this, but actually we probably don't need this many really for this team to be viable if we can get the higher tier units that we need as soon as possible. So we're easily going to win this battle here. That team had the permanent eucalyptus on the marmoset. Now you do have to be careful with going for this kind of a run because as soon as you sell Cardinal, your team is locked. So we're just making sure that we get things done in the correct order here. We do find the alpaca on the level up, but I don't think I need to bring it in until I have the unit that the alpaca is going to work with. So we have a few options. We want it to be a summon unit, obviously. Alpaca now gives triple experience to summoned units. So that means we can get instant level ups in battle. So we can look for Orca or maybe Sabertooth. Now you can't use it with Anteater because the ants are already level 3. You could use Stork, but I think generally you would want to be having a high level Stork, in which case a level 3 Stork is going to spawn a level 3 unit already. And so Alpaca is not going to do anything unless the Stork also spawns a summoning unit. And I don't think there are actually any summoning units on tier 5 in this pack. I could be wrong. Obviously everything is changed. But in the old star pack there weren't any summoning units on tier 5 for the Stork to spawn when you get to turn 11 plus. So here I decide to take the permanent level up. We are going to try and get every unit on the team up to 2.66 with the gingerbread. So we'll have 5 level ups at the start of battle, and then hopefully some more when the summons are leveled up by the alpaca. Hawk deletes alpaca probably shows that I'm going to need to rearrange the team sooner rather than later, although I don't think I'd do it straight away. One of the other attempts I had at this did have Hawk in it because I felt like it was very necessary to delete opposing Spinosaurus or Vulture. But having the unit like Hawk at the back is kind of awkward when you're trying to make space for Jellyfish and a summon unit as well. So yeah, we'll bring in the Sabertooth, we get the chocolate immediately from Alpaca, and then we find another Alpaca here. Actually, we find another one as well and the chocolate. So we can take the level up and now the Sabertooth will immediately start working. Now granted here, it's going to spawn 2 mammoths if I keep it at the front and there's not going to be space. Yeah, I think we're going to move the jellyfish forwards. Although the jellyfish isn't going to gain any stats from the mammoths leveling up, it's not really that big a deal. It doesn't matter what order you go for here, you are going to end up sacrificing stats somehow. But look at the level ups there on the mammoth, crazy boost, +4/4 to all the units behind. And even though it was Raptor plus Real Velociraptor, it's a comfortable win. So now we can get the Alpaca also leveling up at start of battle. And then we can start working on getting the Sabertooth to level 3. Again, there isn't going to be space for all the mammoths to spawn, but it's not really that big a deal. We just want to have as big as starting stats as possible so that we can't get one shot by Hawk. Again, you can see the problem with playing Alpaca at the back, but I hadn't realized it at this point. This is actually a kaiogre, and we're having a bit of a laugh about this in the Discord. That was all strawberries versus all gingerbread. So yeah, we'll take the Sabertooth, and then we can also think about leveling the jellyfish. It's less important because it's only going to be gaining stats based on the initial level ups. But there isn't a whole lot else for us to do at this point other than look for chocolate and levels. We're getting a lot of stats already, even with some of the units like the clownfish at the back not actually leveling up at the start of battle. So I think we should be okay here. It would take some kind of miracle from this Orca for us to lose, but it's just going to be a squid. And yeah, the reindeer gets one shot through melon. So 8 wins already. We do find another jellyfish, so I should just start buying them now. Free up the space in the shop. We get a big permanent boost of stats, and then we also get a Sabertooth on level up, which is a nice bonus. So we're only a couple of chocolates away from having the full team of Gingerbread. It's kind of like playing Unicorn Pack, except instead of all team spirits and mermals, it's clownfish, jellyfish. So yeah, another real Velociraptor team. There's an awful lot of them about, but again, pretty comfortable win. Now there are lots of very, very high statted teams going about in this in the late game in this pack. You know, turn 17, you can very easily face like a hamster team with Ostrich that has just maxed out on stats. And because we only have Gingerbread and we have no peppers, we're almost definitely going to lose to those teams. Here's another relatively scary looking team with the Mantis maxed out instant kills our jellyfish. Although the Mammoth does manage to knock out the Triceratops, and it's going to be a tie. So that actually worked out perfectly, because now we can get the full setup with everything having level 2.66 and the Gingerbread. It looks so nice when you get that setup going. And actually it didn't take that many attempts in this pack to get this setup, so if you feel like trying it yourself, I don't think it's too much of a time investment. So we'll just freeze up the food, but hopefully we won't need it. A 550 Fairy Armadillo on turn 18. Very strange looking team. Of course they have Spinosaurus, but they don't actually have any summoning units at all. And again, the Mammoth has exactly the right amount of attack to knock out the Fairy Armadillo. And so it's a very comfortable win for the full Gingerbread level up team. And then I've got some extra clips here at the end. We'll show one of the other fails from the Gingerbread squad. This is the one where you can see I have Hawk at the front now because I'm trying to maximize the jellyfish level ups, whereas really I would be better playing it at the back. It wouldn't have killed the Spino here anyway. I don't think we had enough damage. But look at the spawns I get here. I end up getting Visitor, which gives me Exposed, so that the Mimic instant kills the Clownfish. And then in contrast, they get the amazing Eagle plus Cricket from the opposing Orca. So Orca definitely more fun than Sabertooth, but pretty unreliable. And then here's a bonus one. I'm not going to show this full run because Ostrich kind of lends itself to games being very dull, where you just end up rolling every single turn to get the stats. This time we've kept the Dumbo Octopus, and we've ended up with Garlic on every single unit. And we end up getting Cuputo here for free. So I feel like at this point I'm happy enough with the stats on the team, and we're going to convert the Ostrich into something else, since it's not actually scaling itself. And we end up getting level 3 Orca. And 50-50 Fairy Armadillo. Yeah, multiple units with Pepper plus Real Velociraptor is absolutely painful. And actually the Garlic, we miss out by 1 HP there. I think we are going to manage to scrape a draw though. Yeah. There are, like I mentioned in one of the other videos, there are a lot of draws now, especially in the late game. And what we're going to do is just top up the health here to make sure that doesn't happen again. Garlic versus Pepper should be a tie if we have 49 or higher health. So yeah, I don't really want to buy chocolate there. I'd rather just buy the stat food, and then we get a free stew, which used to be in Star Pack, but obviously is not anymore. Turn 21 is very, very late, and yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier on. You can face these teams that have all 50-50s, and almost always they will also have Ammonite. So all of their otherwise useless units like Hamster will become level 3 tier 6s. We never had a chance in this one. So we just have to hope for a much weaker team on turn 22. We'll take the hot dog. And celery for sure. So that was actually quite lucky getting 3 good stat foods there. And then look at the comparison between last turn and this turn. It's a level 3 donkey team with Vulture, but the stats are so much lower. It is nice to see people trying to, use that synergy where the donkey and the ibex are interacting. Again, it is Mimic Octopus, but honestly, there's very little option in the late game for these teams. You basically just have to take it if you're offered it. But yeah, in the end, comfortable win. So a full garlic victory as well, plus the level 3 Orca achievement. Not sure why I didn't have that one already.